Appreciate you all being here in our new digs. Thanks to Steve Bisciotti, Sashi Brown for putting this whole thing together. I mean, the stadium is unbelievable right now, isn't it? The investment that was made, the Maryland Stadium Authority, I guess, I don't know how it works, but I know one thing, this stadium is incredible. It's an investment in this region. This is a gem. The stadium's a gem. 1996, and it's way better than brand new. All the different amenities and the sight lines and just the way it looks, it's gritty. It's got the metal, it's got the brick. It's like Camden Yards. It's old school, and yet it's like a new iPhone. The way it plays. So really happy about that. The fans were great. I was just telling the young guys, man, you get a chance now to get connected to Baltimore fans, to Raven Nation, the flock, and to feel them out there and feel how enthusiastic they were. We had a ton of people here. They sold out like in minutes. And we should sell twice as many tickets. We could fill the place for this thing.
I'll tell Brad.
Yeah. It was great. It was fun. And then, for the noise, how about every time that our young kicker got up there to kick a field goal, the crowd was screaming, right? So that was really cool. So put a little pressure on them. So that was fun. Happy with the guys. Proud of the way they practiced. And that's a good step for us. I think for young guys to get out here and just to feel what it's like to come in the locker room, park, walk in, get all that, get on that field, get in that environment. That's kind of a big deal. We were pretty good with the penalties and things like that for that environment. I think not bad for the first day in this kind of a new situation. So I felt pretty good about all that. Then even the veteran guys, like talking to Lamar, talking to Rowe, walking in the locker room is different. It's different. The game locker room is different than the practice locker room. We've been in there a lot. We've had victories, a lot of them. We've had some disappointments too, and you've lived that, and it's not like you don't really. It's just in you, It's kind of in your chemistry. So something different about walking in that locker room. Okay, what questions you have?
What'd you think of Tyler Luke? Perfect today, also hit from 56 and 60.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, he did a nice job. Passed that test with flying colors. I'd say A+++. And on to the next one, So happy for him, and just for him to get through that and now know, hey, you know you can do it, and you know how to do it, just like that. And that's the kind of guy. He's not surprised, but certainly very happy.
What's the difference kicking in the stadium, obviously, versus at the facility?
Well, it's a good question. You wouldn't think it'd be any different, except the sight lines are totally different, I think the wind and stuff like that is different, too. They have been coming down here to kick with that, but I still think the scoreboard on, the fans in the stands, the targets that they make, that's the real thing. So it's really valuable to do that.
John, it seemed like he was enjoying the crowd, maybe even played into the crowd a little bit.
Is your
early sense of him that he might be that kind of guy? That he might be a big personality.
He's kind of got that kind of personality. I mean, he's a confident guy. He's a good mix of humility and confidence. He's a hard worker. I sure hope so.
John, you talk a lot about the operation. How do you think Jordan Stout and Morgan Cox are working with Tyler Luke so far?
I think
or not Morgan.
I'm going to correct you on that one. Yeah. Nick and Jordan are doing really well, I think. I think they're doing well in punts too. I went to the punt operation as well. You got veteran guys doing a nice job, and they're presenting them. We get the ball down probably quicker than any team in the league, so the kicker gets a really good look at the ball.
John, as you get here and you have the stadium practice, like you said, guys are getting used to parking and coming into the stadium and everything. You got the preseason game this week. Is it starting to feel like we're getting closer to the real thing?
It really is. It really is. I mean, we've got quite a week. We had this today. Tuesday the Colts will be at our practice facility, so that'll be another team. And then Thursday night we'll be playing our first preseason game. Boom, boom, boom. It's quite a week in front of us.
What's the outline of the plan with the Colts coming in? Have you designed?
Yeah, you're not going to see the top guys. The guys you probably wouldn't expect to see, you won't be seeing in this game. So we're going to try to get that work done with those guys on Tuesday.
I was going to say, how valuable, knowing in recent years veterans aren't playing quite as much in the preseason, to have those joint practices, to have multiple joint practices like you're going to give those guys a look, but in a little more controlled environment.
Definitely. That's something you hope you get. It's you want to come out of the season firing on all cylinders, but yet it's a long season. So it's a double-edged sword, and I don't think there's any obvious answer, but hopefully those practices are valuable to us.
To that point, is having it, two of them against two different teams. I think the last few you guys have obviously had, I think, one against one team. How much more do you get out of that when you get to go against the different teams?
But we'll find out. You know, I'm hoping it's different because it's a different team. And then, you know, we used to do 2 days, which we kind of moved past that. You know, the second day is just chippy day, cheap shot day. So none of that. And the Colts are class organizations. You know, Shane does a great job. Commander's the same. You know, with Dan, we expect those to be good. You know, good, clean practices.
John, we haven't asked you about Emory Jones in a while. Is he getting close to being able to be, you know, a participant?
Yeah, it's all up to the doctors. You know, we were thinking mid-camp, but you know, until the doctor says he's cleared, he's not cleared. So, yeah, I know. You ask about that, I'm like, yeah, well, Emory Jones. But until he's not out there, he's not out there in my mind. So, he's working hard. He's in the meetings. He's very determined. He's probably a little frustrated because I think he wants to get out there, but. It's the doctors have to do what they think is right, and when they clear him, he'll be out there.
Jair's a guy who seems to bring a lot of energy. I think I've even seen him talking trash to practice dummies. What have
Practice
you
dummies?
when he wraps up, and then he said a little bit. I think one of the practices. What have you noticed from him the first few weeks? That competitive spirit, and he's going against guys like DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, you know, coaching the secondary in the past, you know, you can see the obvious skill set. He can move. He's just got a knack for playing the ball. We say a lot of times, you know, you cover with your feet and you play the ball with your hands. You don't cover with your hands. He understands that. We had a few pass interference penalties out here where guys didn't understand that. You know, so he's just got a real feel for that part of the game. And super talented, super confident. You know, works super hard. All, again, A+.
Coach, was there anything when you were out in the stadium that you looked around and said, wow, I haven't seen that before, that stuck out in the newness that you were talking about earlier?
Well, yeah, I mean, the end zone boxes were like cool. It's like you see that in some you see that in some of the newer stadiums like Dallas and Los Angeles. You know, it's like that's kind of neat. And all of a sudden, boom, it's there in our stadium. You know, it's like it looks really, really cool.
Okay.
All right, great, thanks.
Thanks, Sean.